Okay, good afternoon. If you're watching live, welcome in, and certainly to all of those catching the recording. I'm so glad you're here. As always, I'm happy to be here with you. I'm Christy Gammon, your doTERRA wellness advocate, and this is Wellness Wednesday. In today's episode, we just have another short burst of education and inspiration for you to take along with you. And since we're in the month of March and we have so many green oils, in our little brown bottles of goodness, if you look across the vast array of your collection, you'll probably see a lot of green labels and little oil cap stickers on top. And so let's try to sort through all of our green choices and make sense of how we're going to use these oils to support us. And there's actually so many that I'm going to break this up into two different segments. So for today, I've got 4 singles and 3 blends to review, and we're just going to hit the highlights. If you have questions about any of these single oils or blends, feel free to reach out. If there's something that I do not mention today, then as always, reach out and I will handle your questions on an individual basis. So without further ado, let's kick it off with eucalyptus, one of my all-time favorites in general, not just in the green family. I'm going to breathe that in right now. Emotionally, it is the oil of wellness, and you're going to use your eucalyptus for all things respiratory health and easy breathing. This is a wonderful oil for sinus relief. As I've mentioned before, many people reach for the Breathe blend, and I use that too, but I love its individual ingredients for additional support. So eucalyptus is one that I love combining with On Guard, and I'll just dump it right on the top of my head or put some on my fingertips and drag it across my forehead, make sure I hit my temples, drag it across my face, just anywhere where my sinuses are flowing, and just drip that in the back of the neck. Just get everything opened up and moving. And to me, it just smells amazing and it works very quickly. So those are my top favorites for eucalyptus. It's also good for menstrual relief. You can rub that topically right on the abdomen, and also for mental fatigue. So if you're feeling any of those, just general cold or sinus symptoms, maybe you're feeling a little mental fatigue at the same time, this is going to be a 2-in-1 for you. It's not only going to relieve those physical symptoms in your sinuses or maybe your respiratory system, but it's also going to give you a little boost, and help break up any mental fogginess that you might be experiencing as well. Next up, I have fennel, and this is our sweet fennel. This was never a favorite of mine, and I figured out emotionally it's the oil of responsibility, and I'm very high in responsibility in terms of my strengths, to the point where, as someone might need to be encouraged to buckle down and get their tasks done, I'm the opposite in that I need to be reminded to have fun. And so fennel, as of late, I've been combining this with lemon, because there are times in the day, times in the week, or times in the month when it doesn't matter who you are, you might feel a little pull more toward restful activities, or just shirking some responsibilities, or saying, I just too much for me today. But you still have to buckle down and get a few things done. I love diffusing fennel and lemon together, and that's what completely turned me around on this oil. And so now I really enjoy the smell. I used to just smell black licorice and get turned off by it. And now I smell a real sweetness to it, maybe because it's almost always in my brain. I'm also thinking of lemon while I'm smelling the fennel, and there's just such a sweetness to it, for me now. And so maybe that will help you. Maybe you need a little dose of responsibility and help getting things done. Maybe that diffuser blend will help you. You could also make a roller ball out of that, put that on your pulse points, your solar plexus, just to help you kick into gear and get some things done. Now, fennel's biggest claim to fame is for all things digestion. So it can be internalized, can also be used directly on the abdomen. This is also a wonderful oil for mamas and babies. If anyone is nursing and you're having a low milk supply, you can use fennel directly out of the bottle, or you can make a roller to dilute with a little carrier oil and just go right around the nipple area with that. It is safe for baby. It's also good for colicky baby. And so if you have a baby that's crying, maybe there's a connection to a low milk supply and not getting enough. Once again, you may be able to use this oil to take care of two things at the same time, increasing that milk supply in a healthy way and showing some love to that colicky baby. So that's fennel. Let me move on to lime, another one of my favorites. Open this up and breathe it in. Lime is the oil for zest for life. And I think you can tell as soon as you start to breathe it in, it's just so light and cheery and citrusy. As with all citrus oils, it's going to be cleansing to your body and to surfaces. It's going to be uplifting to your mood and energizing. And so you're going to get all of those amazing properties anytime you open up a citrus oil. You do just want to be careful as we move into spring and summer that this is a photosensitive oil. So just be careful about topical use. It's amazing to drink in your water. And so if you have any springtime typical symptoms, maybe cough or cold or sore throat, lime is wonderful to throw into your water or to tea to just relieve all of those common symptoms. It's also amazing for mental clarity. And we're going to be talking about green cleaning later this month. Lime is going to be an oil that makes a second appearance as we talk about some of our favorite green cleaning recipes. So keep that in mind for later. And our final single oil that I'm going to go over today is tea tree, one of our heavy hitters. This is in our top 10 oils for such good reason. Mentally and spiritually, it's the oil of energetic boundaries. So if you're thinking about that force field around you, maybe you have trouble saying no, maybe there are negative influences that are trying to infiltrate and get to you. Tea tree is one of those oils that helps with boundaries and making good decisions and sticking with your priorities and your agenda and not just being pulled around by forces all around you. Physically, you want tea tree in your natural medicine collection because it works for all things skin. No matter what is going on with the skin, tea tree is going to be supportive for you. It's very mild. You can use it neat directly on the skin. I love that it has a little bit of a tingling sensation, a little bit of a cooling sensation. Not as intense as peppermint, but just really soothing and cooling and relieving. So think rash, think anything going on with the scalp, think anything going on with the feet, think about blemishes and the teens in your life. So tea tree is great in rollerball form for any of those things for direct application. It's very affordable. So if you have different people in the family having different issues with any of those categories, just get them their own roller and then they keep their own stuff to themselves. Tea tree has amazing antifungal property. So anything fungal related, tea tree is your go-to. You're going to use that in athletic equipment and gym bags and all of that good stuff. It's also my #1 favorite oil for a sore throat. I'm telling you, I'm a big baby whenever I get a sore throat. So just a little bit topically on, right on location, just takes it right away. Now, if you need a little extra strength, you can also put a drop or two in a shot glass with just a little tiny bit of water, gargle it, and then you're fine to go ahead and swallow that as well. And then it'll just coat your throat and take that away. I did want to mention Raven Sarah because this is our product of the month. And if you're watching this live or within the vicinity of early March 2022, then as long as you place your order before the 15th, a qualifying order is going to get you your Raven Sarah for free. So just remember, we talked about that last week on our first March Wellness Wednesday. So if you need a refresher on why you want your Raven Sarah, just go back and watch that episode. And then I've got a couple blends that I want to talk through as well. First up is Balance, another one of my all-time favorites. Oh my goodness, this is our grounding blend, and I am just going to apply some of this today. Just do a couple of drops. It's got a lot of tree oil, so you want to be patient while that comes out of the bottle. Just breathe it in and put a little bit on the back of the neck. As I said, this is our grounding blend. It's got lots of tree oils in it, spruce, hoe wood, blue tansy, frankincense, German or blue chamomile, and osmanthus are the oils, your ingredients in Balance Blend. And it actually helps with both physical and emotional / mental, spiritual balance. So it's going to bring the body and many of its systems into homeostasis. So think about your stress, your fight or flight response, moving out of that and into rest and digest, into calmer waters. Balance is an oil that can help you do that. It brings on the peace, brings on the calm, brings on the relaxation. And in terms of physical balance, whether you're dealing with vertigo or adrenal fatigue, some of these things can cause you to actually lose physical balance and have trouble walking, or maybe if you're sitting down, you get up too fast, you just notice you feel a little bit off. Balance oil is one that can help restore physical balance. And then I have TerraShield, which is now known as our repellent blend. And right on the label, it says repels mosquitoes. And that's so exciting for those of us who have had to learn to speak compliantly so that we don't get in trouble with the FDA and we're not over promising or making claims that we've not been approved or allowed to make. Even though in our own personal experience, sometimes we realize, oh my goodness, I can use this for this, or this works amazingly to eliminate or take care of, you fill in the blank. We just as wellness advocates are not allowed to make those claims unless we have approval. And so there are a couple of products, and doTERRA is hard at work in achieving this status for us, but TerraShield is one of them. And so we do actually have language on the bottle, and we can talk about the efficacy of this blend in actually repelling mosquitoes and other unwanted bugs that may sting or bite. So TerraShield is our oil of shielding. So you want to think about it emotionally and spiritually, kind of similar to the way that you think about tea tree and just helping you form healthy boundaries. And I think about being outside in the backyard and loading up my diffusers, which I will strategically place when the time comes, and having almost a barrier or a force field with an oil like TerraShield to keep the bugs at bay. Emotionally, when you put this oil on your skin, it's going to do the same thing for you. So once again, help saying no, creating clear boundaries, sticking to your agenda and your priorities, and not being swarmed, if you will, by unwanted influences. So TerraShield's ingredients are Lang Lang, tomorrow seed, Nootka wood, cedar wood, catnip, lemon eucalyptus, Litsea, vanilla bean absolute, and arbor vitae. It's just absolutely power packed with oils that are known to repel. So as I said, you can put this in your diffusers. You can also wear this oil on your skin for great protection. Final mention is going to be Tri-Ease, and I'll probably be mentioning this throughout the month. One of my very favorite blends, so simple, just lemon, lavender, and peppermint. And this one comes in the ease of a soft gel for you. It's just a tiny little, very easy to swallow soft gel containing only those 3 oils. And it's here to save us from any seasonal threat. So if you've got those springtime seasonal issues happening, I recommend 1 to 2 soft gels morning and night to take care of any of those unwanted symptoms. So I hope this has been helpful to you. Again, if there are green oils in your collection that I did not touch on today, reach out and I'll answer your questions individually. And I'll be back next week to talk about an additional lineup of green single oils and blends, so that hopefully you can erase little Kermit from your mind saying it's not easy being green, and transitioning into how easy it is to be green as you grab one of your many green essential oils or blends and use them to support you. I'll see you back here next week. In the meantime, here's to your continued health and wellness. Have a great day.